The Brooklyn Dodgers, Washington, D.C., and a total solar eclipse are all on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is May 3rd, 2022. It is the 123rd day of the year. We got 242 days left. It is the 18th Tuesday in the 19th week and the 45th day of spring. You got 49 days until summer. If today's your birthday, your birthstone is an emerald. See, I take a couple days off and the birthstones changed. That's outstanding. Today is National Two Different Colored Shoes Day. Each year on May 3rd, National Two Different Shoe Day encourages us to celebrate our uniqueness and put it on display by wearing two different shoes. This is for people who are naturally really boring, and this is their opportunity to show their wild side, what little of a wild side they have, by wearing two different shoes. My poor brother got on a plane, got up early, put his clothes on, gets on the plane, he's sitting there, he looks down, he's got two different shoes on. That's, gonna make you paranoid the whole trip too. It's not like it was tennis shoes and these were two different styles entirely. All right, let's see what else May 3rd has given us. 1715, a total solar eclipse is visible across northern Europe and northern Asia, as predicted by Edmund Halley within 4 minutes of accuracy. That's pretty good, especially back then. They didn't have computers figuring this all out. This guy had like a piece of 1715. He had a quill with some ink figuring this out, and probably an abacus. 1802, Washington, D.C. is incorporated into a city after Congress abolishes the Board of Commissioners, the district's founding government. The city of Washington is then given a mayor-council form of government. That's what they have to this day. 1855, American adventurer William Walker departs from San Francisco with about 60 men to conquer Nicaragua. How about explore Nicaragua or some? Conquer sounds like you're taking a military down there to take over. They were going down there to explore and find out what's up with Nicaragua. I've been to Nicaragua. It's hot and bugs everywhere. It's nothing like being there and you're just wet 24 hours a day, it seems like. And if it's not from rain or swamp water, it's from sweat. You're just constantly wet. You live like a salamander. It's really strange. 1921, West Virginia gives the scourge to America. Yes, they create the first sales tax, but it's not implemented until a number of years later due to enforcement issues. Yeah, there's a little bit of controversy. I guess people didn't like paying for something they didn't have to pay for before. Sales tax sucks. That's one thing I like about living in Oregon. We don't have any sales tax. We get totally jacked on our property and income tax, but sales tax isn't there, so that's kind of nice. Originally, taxes are supposed to be something we all want to do. I mean, the original theory of taxes is the government takes money, or basically pull all our money together, just a little bit each person, and that helps cover our schools, our roads, our police, and, making sure old widows down the road don't go hungry at night. Things like that. And so it should have been like a celebration type thing. And it's turned into something that everyone just cannot stand. And most of the time, it's waste in the amount of taxes we have to pay. I remember when emails were just getting big and the post office, which has, been declining for years, there was this thing going around the internet that you were going to get charged a tax, a couple pennies for every single email you sent to help cover the post office. I don't think that was ever true. Maybe it was something someone in the government thought was a good idea, but the outrage on the internet was insane. That was probably around 99, so the internet was still pretty new. 1948, the U.S. Supreme Court rules in Shelley v. Kramer that the covenants prohibiting the sale of real estate to blacks and other minorities are legally unenforceable. This all started when a white couple, last name Kramer, put their home in St. Louis, Missouri up for sale. They got a lot of offers, including one from J.D. and Ethel Shelley, an African-American couple. Unbeknownst to the Shelleys and for the most part to the Kramers, their homeowners association had a set of rules called a covenant, and in those rules it said that no homes could be sold to, I quote, Negroes or Mongolian races. As you can imagine, this is, not a good thing. So they went to court, and the local trial court said that no, the Shelleys have every right to move in, take possession of the house, and this covenant is unenforceable. So they did. They moved in, they got their stuff in, and there were some problems. This eventually makes its way to the Missouri Supreme Court, who reverses the ruling and says that no, the Shelleys can't live there if the covenant, the homeowners association, doesn't want them to live there, and then orders them to be removed from the premises and their sale to be void. As you can imagine, this makes its way to the Supreme Court. They get to the Supreme Court, 3 justices have to recuse themselves because they actually live in gated communities with the same frickin' rule. At least they recused themselves and, the case went on, and the remaining justices all said, no, this is unenforceable. So 3 years after the sale of the home, they were finally okayed to own their home that they had paid for. Interesting note about this, the Shelley's attorney was future Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall. Chief Justice Vincent wrote that the enforcement of a racially restrictive covenant by state institutions violates the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. 1957, Walter O'Malley, the owner of the Brooklyn Dodgers, agrees to move the team from Brooklyn, New York, to Los Angeles, and they're still there to this day. This was a big to-do back then. I wasn't alive for this, but I watched this documentary years ago. People were freaking out over this, especially people in Brooklyn. 1999, the southwestern portion of Oklahoma City is devastated by an F5 tornado, killing 45 people, injuring 665, and causing $1 billion in damage. The tornado is one of 66 from the 1999 Oklahoma tornado outbreak. The tornado also produced the highest wind speeds ever recorded, measuring 301 miles per hour. 2000, the sport of geocaching begins. This, I wouldn't call a sport. I mean, it's an activity. I don't know if it's a sport. Basically, you hide something in the woods or whatever, and you give some coordinates. Well, people go to those coordinates, see what you've hidden. And sometimes you take something that's in the box or whatever they hid it in and replace it with something else. I did it. There was a $2 bill in there. I left a $5 bill and moved on with my day. I thought it was kind of neat. Did it once. 2001, the United States loses its seat on the UN Human Rights Commission for the first time since the commission was formed in 1947. Movies released on May 3rd, 1996, The Craft. I like this movie. It was very interesting. And I like Fairuza Balk. Not a lot of people like her. They think she's kind of weird looking, a little crazy. I think she's gorgeous. I'm weird. I don't know. Anyway, a new student at a Catholic prep school falls in with a trio of outcasts who practice witchcraft against those who anger them. The witchcraft starts really happening. The movie gained a cult following. It didn't do that good when it was released, but it definitely became a cult classic. They came out with a second one many years later. Don't watch it. I think I got 20 minutes through it and turned it off. Born on May 3rd, 1934, Frankie Valli. He was the front man of the Four Seasons, whose hits included Big Girls Don't Cry and Sherry. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with the Four Seasons. Now, he was Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons and eventually went on to just be Frankie Valli. He worked as a barber until his singing career was able to support him. He had 29 top 40 hits with the Four Seasons and 9 more as a solo artist. Last thing I saw him do, he was a guest star on The Sopranos years ago. I kept watching going, that guy looks familiar, and then I looked at the credits, it was Frankie Valli. Died on May 3rd. 2004, we lost Betty Miller. She's an American actress who was featured in Leon, the Professional, which is a great movie, you've never seen it, A League of Her Own, Bring Out Your Dead. Before fame, she studied drama at the HB Studio in Greenwich Village. She appeared alongside actor Chris North in the movie called Waitress and Law & Order. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Sorry I took a couple days off. We got a little busy. Anyway, back to it. Everybody have a great day. Be nice to each other.